Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to the finale of our Smoky Mountain Rasslin podcast. As this week, we're looking at Smoky Mountain Rasslin, episode 200 from November 25th, 1995. And this is Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast. It's been a long and rough and hard journey at times, Doc, to get all these out on time each Sunday night. But how are you doing as we go on to finish this thing out?
3 years and 9 months.
Man.
Yes, sir.
Never missed an episode. Doing this on Friday mornings. It's starting at 7:30 in the morning. I mean, you wanted to quit at about 1:75, and I said, no, we got to finish what we started.
That's not true. Stop lying to the people.
You were like, man, it's dog shit after the Super Bowl of wrestling. Let's just stop it.
I did not say anything about stop it.
Now we're here. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh, wow.
We're here and we're queer.
What? Wait, what?
Oh, boy.
Well, you know, the good news is that unlike this promotion, our show will continue after this episode.
This is true.
200. I'd never seen this episode before this week because I didn't watch it.
And after you watched it, what did you think?
Not terrible. Again, not as bad as 197 and 198.
Yeah. This was a very good episode.
I was not ashamed watching it. I will tell you that. I would like some closure. It's just like, you know, I'm starting to wonder in this episode if you're going to pull the Sopranos finale where you just turn off the recorder. But I wish there was some sort of, hey, goodbye, but that's not how it's done in TV and radio a lot of times. It's just one day you're on and the next day you're not. So I get it. Hey, the good news is
that's how it happens in wrestling. It just dies. That's the model in wrestling.
What wrestling promotion goes out on top?
None.
Yeah.
What successful business in wrestling goes, we're just not going to do this anymore.
Exactly.
The good news is that we never ever have to hear this theme song again after this.
Ugh. Good God, that theme song, right?
Smoky Mountain on your TV.
I like the original more.
Oh yeah. All right, Harper, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just sad.
Why?
Because this is it. It's like the last day of, you know, like, I don't know, high school graduation.
I do think
I'm never going to see these guys again.
Yeah, but you know, I do think that we have decided that we're going to do like a wrap-up show sometime where we talk about our favorite moments or something. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, don't hold us to when that'll come out, but we can because we probably would need to sit down and jot a few things down on some things that were great and that we really enjoyed. It won't be hard if you just go look at some of the first few episodes with Ron Wright. There's about you could probably do top 10 and still not have enough spots for top 10 Ron Wright moments because they were so gold in the beginning. But we'll do some wrap up at some point. Corny said he would come on again. I think Tommy Noe's going to do something with me. Bobby Blaze, I'm sure we'll bring him back for something. And then we'll see, I'm not promising anything because Tim Horner might be like, fuck that bastard for all that shit he said about us.
That's
Fuck
nice.
him. But maybe we will inquire about Tim and see what we can do. But we definitely going to do the three of us will do a wrap up, and then hopefully we'll have a couple of guests like Corny and Bobby and whatnot, and we'll see who else can come on. I know the Army's been out there working trying to get Tammy to come on the show.
I saw that. That was really, really nice. And oh my God. If she comes on, I'm going to do the same.
Whoa.
Can you at least mute yourself while you're cranking to her voice?
No. He's going to be like, guess what I'm doing? She's
Hopper.
Like, let me guess. You're jerking off.
Hopper.
Yeah.
Would you want to be on with Tammy?
I would be all over Tammy.
No. I said, would you want to record with her?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine that, Doc?
I'm like, what's up, girl?
Doc, are you there?
I'm here. I'm just...
You trying to process it?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Why?
Are you going to pull out that butt plug with the lawnmower starter handle on it?
That's nice.
Only the patrons know what you're talking about.
She's going to be like, oh.
I've seen one of those.
Yeah. That's where I left that thing.
Oh. Well, maybe we should get to the ring before we get in any more trouble.
Yeah, we don't mean that in any disrespectful way. We want Tammy on this show. So, Tammy, if you're listening, please listen to the Army. Come be a guest. We love you. That's that. Okay, so, first off, shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Mark E. Blassie, Kyle Riley, Mike Childry, Joe Ice. Appreciate your patronage each and every month. This is taping number 3 from Cumberland at Cumberland High School. 200 people in attendance, if you believe the internet. And as I've said the last few weeks, of course, this is the last not only episode, but this was the last TV taping that the company did before folding. If you don't include them recording some Thanksgiving Thunder stuff that Cornette did say would eventually air, but never happened because the promotion shut down last night. We go to the ring. Well, not immediately. Les and Chip open the show. Kessler gives us the normal intro of what we'll see today before we hear the Smoky Mountain intro music. And then we go straight to the ring, where the very first match is the Wolfman versus Ron Davis.
Now, hold on. Can you go back to 106? I want to hear where they said Ron Davis came from.
Okay, hold up. I'm at 101. I'll play that. Let's see.
24 Gate City, Virginia. Okay, Ron Davis.
Go back. 10 more seconds.
Doc, you got to give me a second. Don't just keep going. Go back. All right. I'm playing it at 57. Let's see.
Introducing at a weight of 220 pounds from Post Office Box 24, Gate City, Virginia, Ron Davis.
Dude, he's from a post office box.
Have you ever heard that before?
That's a new one. Good
He's
catch.
trying to hide from his ex-wife for child support papers.
That's nice. Let's go back. I want to hear where the Wolfman's from.
Ricky Morton?
Oh.
Come on, Doc.
What?
Let's hear this again.
From Post Office Box 24, Gate City, Virginia, Ron Davis. And his opponent weighs 230 pounds from the state of Alaska, the Wolfman.
State of Alaska, my ass. Yeah. Wolfie. All right. Okay, Doc. I'm going to throw it to you for your expert analysis on the Wolfman and Ron Davis.
Well, this is a main event anywhere in the world, right?
Sure.
Maybe not. Oh, man. Ron Davis was wearing Wolfman's ass out.
Yeah, he got a lot of stuff in.
And it wasn't bad.
Nice power slam.
Yeah, Ron Davis had a little something going on in this match. I was like, damn, why didn't they push him instead of this fucking cracked out boogie woogie man? Drops the Hogan leg drop on him. He's probably out of all the offensive moves he knows by this point.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a good worker. He was trained by Robert Gibson.
Okay. And then, just dominated by Ron Davis. And then out of nowhere, the Wolfman hits a small package with a clean pin. And at that point, all I could think of is, all right, somebody hit the lights. Harper hit the tagline. It's time to shutter this thing up.
Well, so I'm trying to get to it because it's about to happen, where the Wolfman wins with a quick small cradle, and it's what happens after the match that just totally pops me. Doc, do you want to describe what happens after as we work towards it?
The locker room empties and they come out to celebrate this sap's win.
Here it comes.
Jesus.
Here's the cradle. Here's the package.
1, 2, 3. What the fuck?
Wolfman gets a win. Look at him celebrate.
Look at those little skinny arms. He's ready.
Tracy Smothers comes out. White boy Brad.
It's like at the end of the Karate Kid.
Look.
You are right, LaRusso.
It's like the end of Arcade 83 where Flair wins and everybody comes out.
Did y'all see look at Tracy. Tracy tells him to look at the hard camera. Look, watch Tracy. Watch Tracy. He points him to the camera.
Jesus.
Oh my God. Bobby's out there. Dirty white boy. They're celebrating. Rocky won the strap.
How would they care?
How many people complained about having to do that in the locker room when they were told?
Yeah, you're like, fuck. I need to go out there.
All right, I guess.
All right.
That's a Bobby question. Like for real. That's a Bobby question, Doc, when he comes back. Hey, what did you think when you had to go out there and raise the Wolfman's hand? Good God. All right. Harper, any other thoughts on the Wolfman winning?
He has to be the worst wrestler there, huh? Like ever. That's been pushed.
The Mummy has something to say about that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about the Mummy.
Yeah, the Mummy certainly has something to say about that.
Yeah.
God, think about
Mummy. At least we got fucking Daryl Van Horn.
That's true.
Right.
He's just...
The Wolfman.
God bless him.
America.
Wolfman. Man, I was like, Wolfman's pinning people, and midgets are getting mic time.
It's nice, Doc.
Jesus
Come on,
Christ, we are scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Well, what Doc's talking about is after the Wolfman celebrates his win on the final episode of Smoky, we get a replay of last week when Butch Cassidy gave Cornette a present that was a plastic bag, and then Cassidy tried to murder Cornette with it and suffocate him on television. And then we get a replay of Bobby Blaze and Buddy versus the Punisher and Tommy Rich, which ended in a DQ because of Cornette interfering. Harper, you weren't here when we reviewed the little fella trying to murder Cornette and smother him, and suffocate him. Did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, he tried to murder him.
Thanks for repeating.
With a fucking Walmart bag.
What a Walmart bag. That's nice. Yeah. Any other thoughts on it, Harper?
He's a little asshole.
He really is. That's nice, though, of you to say it like that about him. Doc, did you have any thoughts on that replay? What a little prick.
No, I talked about it last week.
Oh, okay.
If you want to hear what I had to say about it, tune into last week's episode.
Fair enough. Well, after the replay of the little fella trying to murder Cornette with a plastic Walmart bag, we then go to a promo. We got Buddy Landel and Butch Cassidy, and I guess they got to talk about their upcoming Thanksgiving Thunder matches. Here it is.
Last week, you got a chance to almost put Mr. Cornette's lights out, and of course, you've got another chance coming up this weekend, tonight in Johnson City.
Yes, Mr. Cornette, I don't want you to think I'm scared of you, my friend. I got lots more things in my bag for you coming this weekend.
All right, Butch, and of course, Buddy, a lot of big things happening for you, my friend.
You know, I can appreciate a last-ditch effort like last week on TV. Jimmy Cornette trying to put me out of commission. But Johnson City tonight and Cookeville, Tennessee tomorrow night is going to be Thanksgiving Thunder. it's going to be my plate of turkey. You see, Jimmy Cornette, because I've got my own militia. I've got my own thing going on. And you ain't part of it, my friend. I'm going to tell you something. You never liked me, Jimmy, because you couldn't boss me around like you could Tommy Rich and the Punisher. But tonight in Johnson City, they seen the four-pronged barbed wire. They seen me beat Tommy Rich. They like a good fight in Johnson City. The same with the people in Kentucky. Bullet Bob Armstrong around the ring. Baseball bat. Let me tell you something. Do you want to know how nasty and crazy it's going to get? Watch this.
Doc, thoughts on the little fella, and
Can you go back to when? Can you go back to when Les is talking to the little fella at the beginning?
And he laughs.
He seems like an awkward uncle that got their nephew a birthday present, and they're trying to talk it up, like making sure they're going to like it.
Yeah,
because they spent all their minimum wage check on it.
That's nice.
So, watch Les right here. He's talking to Butch Cassidy, and then, well, I think Les laughs too. He's trying to hold it in. Look at him.
But listen to him. You got to play the audio.
Okay, all right. Let me go back. Hold up. 8:10.
All right, Butch, last week you got a chance to almost put Mr. Cornette's lights out, and of course you've got another chance coming up this weekend, tonight in Johnson City.
Yes, Mr. Cornette, I don't want you to think I'm scared of you, my friend. I got lots more things in my bag for you coming this weekend.
Okay, you can stop now. I don't need to hear that again. What? God almighty, 200 episodes, and you haven't learned when to push play and when to push stop.
Continue.
Oh, I got him there. He's hot. He's gonna no sell it.
No, I was taking a sip of coffee. I mean, yeah. Jesus Christ! You don't send me timestamps to tell me exactly when you want to play it or stop it, so you can fucking blow me.
When I do, your computer locks up. So what's the point?
You leave my computer. You leave my computer and my big booty women alone. That I like watching. Oh wait, we're recording.
What's wrong with you?
It's nice.
Continue. That's all. I'm done with this episode. I mean, this segment.
Okay. Hopper, you got anything from this? Good Lord.
Yeah, where's he from?
Butch Cassidy?
Yeah.
I have no idea. He has kind of like
an accent, right?
It's almost like he's a 1940s. You see.
Yeah. I'm trying to. It's because it's almost like he's maybe Canadian or
Japanese.
Something. I can't tell what is
Japanese.
I was just gonna see if Harper would bite.
It just sounds like he's maybe Canadian or maybe just a local redneck. I can't tell.
Yeah, I wanted to double check because I thought this, but I believe he is from Tennessee.
Tennessee, take me to
I believe he's from Knoxville.
Place.
And yes, I did just Google it to confirm if anybody heard me typing.
Let me understand your plan.
Shut up,
Tennessee.
Mr. Window.
I did not like Arrested Development. I think we've talked about that before.
Mr. Window was a good song.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gave white people a positive message.
Hey, Harper, we talked about this last week. They are showing this replay again after the promo where the Armstrongs and the Rock and Roll are training in the woods, and Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson have their face painted, and Gibson's got his ape suit on. Do you remember that segment?
Yes.
Good Lord.
It's sad. It's like the last day of like your high school graduation, and they're showing you all through your years, and that lasted 4 years.
And you shed a tear?
Yeah, you're like, oh man.
This shit did last as long as high school.
Technically, it did.
Been doing this.
You
want
to know the irony of that, Doc? Wait.
Is that I was far more productive in this than I was at any point in my high school career.
No, I've got even something better for you.
I mean, look at that.
We started this in August of 2016, like recording them. which is technically around the time that school starts. I think we started airing them in September of 2016, and we are wrapping it up in May to mid-June of 2020. So, like, it literally fell the path of when you're in high school.
Wrap it up.
So, anyway.
You like that song, Harper?
Yeah.
The Fabulous Thunderbirds?
Yeah. Wrap it up. Yeah. I remember that song.
So, can we keep going? I don't have anything else.
It's your world, pal.
All right. We get a replay of Gordy defeating Ron Davis with the power bomb, and then Sergeant Rock potatoing Davis with the leather strap last week. Good Lord, she beat the piss out of him. Eventually, remember, Brad Armstrong made the save on a Wolfman and all that good stuff. We also get this replay of the Joe LeDuc and Bob Armstrong clip. Then we go to a Brad Armstrong promo. It's just Brad promoting his match with Gordy at Thanksgiving Thunder. Doc, you got anything from it? I really don't.
He didn't really say anything, but I will tell you this, and we talked about this a little bit last week, and I kind of kept quiet because I wanted to bring it up today. Brad Armstrong and Buddy and Tracy Smothers are finishing this race.
Yes, sir.
And they're working hard, so kudos.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Armstrong's he's jacked up, ready to roll. He wants that belt back.
Yeah. Now let's enough of this. Let's hear from Tommy Rich.
No, come on, bruh.
Come on, a true NWA legend.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking he was going to say? Hey, I've killed a bunch of promotions before in my time, but never one this big.
I mean, hey, let me tell you something, Doc. What that fucking crisscross looking sumbitch don't like to tell you is, I might have sucked dick to get the NWA strap. But let me tell you something, Doc. I mean, wouldn't you do the same thing for the NWA strap and a bag of cocaine?
That's nice.
Now that you put it like that.
Doc. Hold on 1 second. You know what I did before I slobbed on that knob? Hold up.
There's a lot of people. I
guzzled me some Jack Daniels, and then I went down on that thing. Man, I numbed up my throat real good after I snorted that 8-ball, and I was like, oh, yeah, Jimmy.
You know, there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this because it's the final show, and you have that to be proud of. Good God.
Grow up.
I have what to be proud of? What are you talking about?
All right, let me go ahead and say it. The thoughts and views expressed here by Mike.
That's Tommy Rich talking. He just comprehended this line. That has nothing to. I didn't do anything.
Reflect the views of Hardbody Harper or Doc Turner or the Booking the Territory podcast as a whole. They are solely the minutes.
Hey, crazy time. Hey, let me tell you something. Before you slob on them now, get you a good, drink you some Jack Daniels, some whiskey. It soothes the throat. And that Jim Barnett, I was able to swallow that thing whole. He was hung like a horse too, brother.
That's nice.
Why?
What the hell? Why are you imitating Tommy Rich, Doc?
Maybe it is best that this is all coming to an end.
Book it, bitch.
Thank you, Harper.
Crazy time.
He's waited 200 episodes, almost 4 years, to show what his true colors are. A classless individual. We
Somebody say something about a bag of cocaine.
Shut up. We have created a historical document here for the wrestling world, and you just come in here and shit all over it with your fucking crazy talk.
Yeah.
Doing your impressions.
You gotta admit that was pretty good.
I don't know.
That sounded nothing like him.
Oh, it sounded just like him. Because it was him. Okay, let's go to Tommy Rich now and Kessler's Corner with the Cornet and his militia.
Come welcome to this edition of Kessler's Corner, right in the heart of Thanksgiving thunder, and the Cornet militia's right in the thick of things.
Sergeant Rock, I see that you have the troops all present and accounted for. Have they passed inspection? Yes, sir. I love having a drill sergeant around. And Sergeant Rock, this weekend, Thanksgiving Thunder, are you going to take all the howling out of the Wolfman for me, are you? Yes, sir. Absolutely perfect. Do you have something else to say, Sergeant?
Wolfman, Thanksgiving Thunder will be my time to howl. So you're going to salute Sergeant Rock.
That's exactly right. And also, it's going to be a Bad Street death match with the man from Bad Street, the man that came all the way from Freebird Mountain, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Brad Armstrong's in your sights, Big Bam Bam.
That's right, Brad Armstrong. I'll guarantee you this, boy. You won't whoop me again like you did last week.
And then a six-man tag. And I don't care who it is that the mystery partner is, because the king of rock and roll, Robert Gibson, he's going to be ready, he's going to be willing, and he's going to be able to team with the Heavenly Bodies, who will be out here momentarily in today's main event. And what are you going to do to the thugs, King?
Let me tell you something, General. I ain't worried about the mystery partner. You know that knife in Tracy's back? I'm going to twist a little bit harder.
And then, just before we get to the main event, I want to say something to you, Butch Cassidy. You little midget. You're a midget mentally and physically, and like all the rest of these food stamp clipping rednecks, financially as well. And I'm going to chop you down to size, Butch Cassidy. Nobody makes a fool out of Jim Cornette. And then, Nature Boy Buddy Landell, Bullet Bob Armstrong. You had to go all the way to Montreal, Canada, to a logging camp to bring Joe LeDuc back to wrestling to try to stop the militia. But Wildfire and the Punisher are going to spread all over you this weekend, right, Wildfire? You got to take care of them.
Somebody say something about Thanksgiving Thunder this weekend. Bob Armstrong, can them big arms of yours still pick up a ball bat? You better hope all them stinking rednecks, y'all better bring a ball bat too, because the way you do it, when you go against a crazy man, you get crazy. And you're looking at a group that can get crazier than anybody. Thanksgiving Thunder, don't miss it. Be there.
That's exactly right, Chip Kessler. So you see, my troops are all assembled. My elite fighting forces together. The militia's going to march. When you add the Heavenly Bodies to this mix, you've got the greatest collection of wrestling talent anywhere. And Thanksgiving Thunder, heads are going to roll, bodies are going to fall, and names are going to be taken. And I guarantee you, Jim Cornette is going to come out on top of it. Sergeant, dismiss the troops.
Tonight, Freedom Hall, Johnson City. Tomorrow, Cookeville, Tennessee. Thanksgiving Thunder. We'll be back right after this.
Oh, boy. Tommy Rich talked him out of the building. What do you have, Doc?
This was not good.
Yeah, this is bad, bro.
I didn't like it.
Okay, tell us why.
It's just a ragtag group of guys that aren't. So Jimmy Del Rey is awesome, but he's better because he's with Dr. Tom, and vice versa. Their whole is greater than the sum of their parts. The militia can't say that.
No, this is bad.
Right. That's why.
Hopper, you want to elaborate on what's so bad as well?
They don't go together. They're all just standing around like they're sitting at the bus stop. Tommy Rich looks like he's trying to buy a fucking bag of fucking weed or something. Standing there with his fucking leather jacket on and his high tops. It's just poor old Bam Bam Gordy. Jesus Christ, man.
They had been keeping him away from the mic.
But he's the champ now, so you kind of got to let him talk.
I don't know. I think Corny should just do the talking for him.
Sure. Possibility.
And that power bomb he does.
Yeah, we talked about that before you joined last week, Harper.
Oh, boy.
It's rough. But,
Yeah.
Look, man, y'all make fun of me making fun of Tommy Rich, but this dude he's a buffoon. He's a clown. Tell me one thing he's done to enhance Smoky Mountain Wrestling since he came in, Doc.
What?
I'm waiting. Tell me one thing Tommy Rich has done to make Smoky Mountain Wrestling better since he came in.
He turned on Buddy.
Tell me one thing he's done to put another ass every 18 inches since he came into Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
I don't know.
Nothing.
Thank you. I rest my case.
But obviously nobody's done enough to put enough asses in seats at this point.
You can't put that on everybody else, because look at what White Boy's been here for a while. Gibson, Smothers, even Buddy Landell had hot stuff going on. But the fact is, since Tommy Rich came in, it's been anything he's been involved in. Even his stuff with Buddy's the one who carried it. Okay. Show me the lie. Okay, I'll keep going. It seems like you're like Tommy Rich's. You're the head of the Tommy Rich fan club. You know, it's like you're the head man of it all, and
that's not fair.
You really?
Mm-mm.
I beg your pardon?
I just try to keep you from being negative all the time.
Okay. Well, after that cluster of whatever the militia was right there with Tommy Rich leading the way, we get a replay of Robert Gibson, and that promo he had with Smothers comes out and tells him to go screw herself, and it ends up in a brawl. Hopper, had you already joined us at that point last week, or I don't even remember? Did you have anything from this?
Yes. No.
Nothing? We thought it was good, though. We thought Tracy was really fired up.
Yeah, I mean, Tracy's still trying to fucking get shit going, and he's not letting up. Yeah, he ain't letting up at all. It's on for him. Yeah, Gibson's working hard too. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, but Tracy and Dirty White Boy, they ain't just cashing a check and saying, yeah, okay, we're done. Yeah. This is good stuff. We didn't talk about this last week. Doc, look at Del Rey's outfit. Did you have any comments on that? Looks like Where's Waldo?
He looks like a dirtbag who's trying to look respectable for like a job interview or something.
Yeah, or like for like his family reunion, or like his fucking nephew's getting baptized.
Yeah.
Dude,
shit, I gotta put on a shirt with a collar. Shit.
That's the bum with no good clothes whose idea of dressing up to go to his cousin's wedding is putting on jeans, boots, and a Where's Waldo shirt.
Was that his, or did he have to borrow it?
It was probably his.
I think it was his. He had a little WWF money still at this point. That was his.
Okay.
I think it was his. All right. So after that replay, we then go to a singles match with headbanger Thrasher versus Flash Flannigan. Thrasher hit Flannigan with a Frankensteiner off the top rope, and it should have been a pin, but it should have pinned him. But
why didn't they call that a Franken Thrasher?
I don't know. Okay. Why don't you call Les and ask him?
Can you go to 22 minutes, please?
22 minutes. Let's see what we got at 22. 21:56. Whoa, look at these spot monkeys.
Damn. You think Corny was pleased by that move?
I think Corny was worried about a lot of other things at this stage than that.
I think at this point he was just like, just fucking leave me alone.
You know how stressed he was at this point?
Oh God,
that wasn't even a blip on his radar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I thought Flash was working his ass off here. Both guys.
Yeah.
This was a decent match for real.
Yeah.
You thought the same, Harper?
Yes.
Flash is good, man. I like Flash. He's out there, and let me tell you.
Did he do anything after this?
Bobby Murray will know. He's friends with him. He's one of our Hall of Fame Patreon members. Bobby, tell us on the Facebook group what all Flash did after this. He's on Facebook. Flash is.
Okay.
Anyway, I think Corny was definitely worried about a lot of other things, but Flash was good, and Tommy Rich was Flash's job boy. So there's that. Okay. Any other thoughts on Flash, Flannigan, and Headbanger Thrasher, Doc?
No, this was an entertaining match, and so it's going to help the score out.
FYI, the finish of this match is right here, and look at Flash get some air, and 1, 2, 3. He's very agile. You got talent, man. Really good, really good. So after this match, we then get another Thanksgiving Thunder Tour plug. I don't have anything from it, and then from there, we go to one of the longest matches in Smoky Mountain Wrestling television, regular television history. We get the Heavenly Bodies and Robert Gibson versus the Thugs and Brad Armstrong. And we're going to do this, obviously, because we need to do something big before we head into Thanksgiving Thunder. Doc, they go almost 12 minutes. What did you have from this?
Lots of talent in this ring.
Yes.
Did you notice how many guys are wearing red tights of some sort?
Yeah.
And have long hair? I watched this on my phone. I couldn't tell who was who.
It's true.
Very confused. At least, Smothers and White Boy are wearing black, but I could tell them apart.
Yeah, from far away, Brad and Dr. Tom could be confused. From far away. Mm-hmm. When they go to that wide shot because of the long hair. And
you can tell Gibson because of that dumbass ponytail he's got.
Come on, man.
That's nice, Doc. Really?
People are going to think I don't like Gibson. I think he's awesome.
You talk about me with Tommy Rich, but you really do disrespect Robert Gibson and the Rock and Roll Express a lot on this show.
The Rock and Roll Express is amazing.
You disrespect Robert Gibson a lot. What'd you say, Harper?
He's got that beautiful mullet, man.
Beautiful mullet.
Look at that thing.
Look at that thing.
Imagine being 2020 Ricky Morton, though, and still rocking the mullet that you wore in 1981.
God.
Imagine being the Rolling Stones and having to play Satisfaction every night.
I guess if that's your gimmick, stick with it, right?
We're 55 years into that shit.
The Rock and Roll Express have had the same gimmick for 40 years almost.
Yeah, same gear and everything.
Amazing. Like the Undertaker's kind of reinvented himself a couple times, with the different outfits. Not the Rock and Roll. Stuck with it, and it's still working in 2020. America. Okay. Doc.
It just proves that some people, like you look at a Jericho. Jericho's one of those guys who likes to reinvent his character and come out with something new. And there's a lot to be said about that. That's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also something to be said for riding that gimmick till the wheels fall off and making money with it.
They riding it till the wheels fall off too, man.
Yeah. God bless them.
Mm-hmm.
For real. All right. Doc, what other thoughts you have on the Bodies and Gibson versus the Thugs and Armstrong?
There's not a lot to say. This is the final match, isn't it?
Final match in Smoky Mountain Wrestling television history.
So it's really neat to see Dr. Tom and Dirty White Boy and Jimmy Del Rey and Gibson was in the first match and the last match.
There you go.
That's a hell of a fact. Gibson, first and last match. First match was against Killer Kyle.
Yep.
And now here he is.
All six of these guys are hellified professional wrestlers, and it's the last match. So, yeah. I mean, if you got to go out this way, this seems like as good a way as any.
The irony of everybody on the screen right now is I consider Dr. Tom a Smoky Mountain original, but technically he didn't make his debut until episode 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, Jimmy teased him for 2.5, 3 months. But I consider him an original. But if you want to be technical about it, the only two people on screen, even Smothers, who came in the 20s, and then Dirty White Boy, who came in episode like 7, the only two people on screen or 3 people if you count Mark Curtis, have been there since the beginning.
Mark Curtis wasn't there at the very beginning either.
That's right. He wasn't on the first one, was he?
We had the blonde referee.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, yeah.
The only 2 people on screen who are original, since episode 1, when we say that, is Gibson and Cornette. So there's that, because Dr. Tom came in episode 12 or 13. Tracy was in like 26 or 20 something. And then White Boy was like episode 7. So only 2 on screen. But it is very interesting. That's a hell of a trivia point. Robert Gibson started the promotion in the ring and ends in the ring on television. Good stuff. All right. So here's how this match goes. Midway through, Gordy comes down. And he is fighting with Brad on the outside of the ring. And then as we go to the finish, Dirty White Boy hits Del Rey with the Buck Snort Blaster, but Mark Curtis is distracted. During that distraction, Pritchard hits Dirty White Boy with the loaded boot. The ref turns around, and Dirty White Boy is now getting pinned. The Bodies and Gibson, if you want some trivia, they win the last Smoky Mountain Wrestling televised match. Brad Armstrong has to clear the ring of the heels, though, at the end after that. So technically, the Bodies and Gibson win going into Thanksgiving Thunder. And that's that. Any other thoughts on the last match in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Doc?
No, I don't think so, man. So, end of an era. I'm getting a little sad.
End of an era. Well, we do have one more thing before we ride off into the sunset with Smoky. And that is the very last promo in Smoky Mountain television history. Brad
you know
Armstrong
that the last word, listen to this, the last word said in a promo on this promotion is ass. I just wanted to point that out.
That's true.
Well, let's give it a listen. Here it is.
And Brad Armstrong, Brad, tonight, Johnson City, Cookville tomorrow night. What is happening for you, brother?
Thanksgiving thunder, and the thunderous sound you hear is a herd of mighty wild-eyed Southern boys coming at you, Terry Gordon. I'm gonna strike you like a zebra, Jack, and take a Smoky Mountain belt home with it. Ain't that right, thumbs? That's exactly right, Dr. Tom Pritchard, Jimmy Del Rey, and Robert Gibson. Pritchard, I want you to bring that loaded boot, because I'm gonna jerk your leg off and beat you with the bloody end. Because we've got a mystery partner that hates Jim Cornette and hates everybody that has anything to do with Jim Cornette. And you're going to find out that night when he shows up and stomps some sense into you boys, right, Wildcat? That's exactly right. Tonight in Johnson City, in just a few short hours, it'll be a November to remember. And it'll be a late Thanksgiving and a early Christmas, because Heavenly Bodies, Rock and Roll King of Rock, Robert Gibson, the Thugs are going to kick your ass.
That's tonight, Johnson City, tomorrow night, Cookville, Thanksgiving Thunder. And join us here on Smoky Mountain.
So Les, as you can see, they're promoting the Thanksgiving Thunder Report on next week's Smoky Mountain. So like Jimmy told me when I was on with him a few weeks back, or a couple months ago now, they were going to, he had the next few run sheets down for the episodes, and I'll definitely ask him about that when he comes on to do the wrap up. So, but that is how this ends.
Man, it would have been so perfect if those three would have done just broken out into jiving and socializing.
For old time's sake?
Yeah.
I would have popped my ass off.
Yeah, that would have been great. That really would have been great.
Be on you like a duck on a June bug.
Be on you like a duck on a June bug.
So, we're done. See you later.
Well,
that sucks, man.
I'm happy and sad.
All at the same time, right?
Yeah, I can feel two emotions at once,
Yeah, I feel that. So, okay. So here's the thing.
Hey, why don't we wrap up this episode with our cheese and our checks and then go to the Thunder results?
Yes, we're going to do that. So let's wrap up the episode, do the cheese and the checks and all that stuff. Before we do so, this has been a fun ride. For 200 weeks straight, you've gotten an extra show on BTT with the Smoky Mountain Show. And with this one wrapping up, that's going to wrap up our second free show each week. But if you want more content, there are literally about 215 Patreon exclusive episodes up on our Patreon feed at tinyurl.com/Wrestling Patreon BTT. That's tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. It's a great way to support the show without spending anything extra. While you're spending a little bit extra, I'm sorry, this is not the Amazon plug. And you get, like I said, 200 episodes of other content. Hopper just told a glorious one recently about a new lady friend. Yeah, we'll get at that. The Squirter, the Dallas Cowboys Ring Rat House, the World Class shows are all there. So there's that. The ECW shows, tons of stuff are up on our Patreon feed. tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT. Now, Doc, we do need to do the government cheese and the Rolex government cheese and the disability checks. This is the last episode.
For the last time.
Yeah, how many checks are you giving this?
This episode had some good things and it had some bad things, and I may be grading a little high because I'm feeling a little sentimental and maybe I'm a little high. I'm going to say a 7.
7. That's definitely a sentimental rating. What are you going to give it, Hopper?
I'll get a 7.5. I mean, the last match was good.
Flannigan and Thrasher tore it up.
Yeah.
Well, give me a B- on this one. Not terrible. Not the greatest, but
we can feel good about it.
Yeah. Government cheese. What?
Both teams played hard.
Okay, participation trophy. Both Government Cheese Award time. But before we do it, I want to remind you, please use our Amazon referral link if you've appreciated all of what we've done over the last few years with this series and our Smoky Mountain shows. Go to tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon and spend your money on Amazon using our link. It's a great way to support this show while you're already shopping there and not spending anything extra. Again, it's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Give that link to the wives, girlfriend, boyfriends, whatever you have in your life, your family members, and tell them to use it every time they use Amazon. We'd appreciate it. Now, let's go to the government cheese.
What is Shard Johnson going to do after this? This has been the highlight of his entire life.
He needs to become a patron, maybe. I don't know, but...
Yeah.
What are you giving this, Doc? Government cheese. What are we doing here?
This may surprise all of you, but I'm going to stick to my guns. And while, in all honesty, the three of us should get the cheese for doing this, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay true to the concept, and I'm giving mine to Flash because he worked his ass off in that match.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that, so Flash Flannigan gets it.
Mm-hmm. For the first time and the last time.
Hopper, who are you giving yours to?
I'm giving mine to Tracy again, man. Tracy gets it again.
I'm giving mine to Tracy again as well. Tracy's going to close it out with the cheese. So Hopper and I give ours to Smothers, and Doc gives his cheese to Flash Flannigan. So that is the last disability check and government cheese. Now on to the Thanksgiving Thunder 1995 tour results. So the first night was November 23rd, 1995 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it drew 1,100 people. We saw Flash Flannigan defeat pinned Headbanger Thrasher. Sergeant Rock pinned the Wolfman. So Wolfman coming off of a clean pin on television. Jobs out to Jackie, Sergeant Rock. Butch Cassidy did defeat Jim Cornette via DQ. Brad Armstrong pinned Terry Gordy in a country whipping match to win back the Smoky Mountain Wrestling heavyweight title. Buddy Landell and the Bullet beat Tommy Rich and the Punisher when Landell pinned Rich. Tommy Rich got pinned again, like it should be. Robert Gibson and the Heavenly Bodies defeated Ricky Morton, Tracy Smothers, and Dirty White Boy. So the mystery partner for Smothers and White Boy was none other than Ricky Morton, who came back. There you have it.
Remember when Dirty White Boy said it was somebody you stabbed in the back?
Yes.
Interesting.
So we never got to see that, but it was Morton.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
What, that we don't get to see it?
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see, yeah.
Cornette's got to have the tapes of this stuff.
Yeah. Was this sold on tapes, like the Volunteer Slam and all that?
Maybe he should release it as a special addendum to his Smoky Mountain book.
For real. You know he's got to have the footage of this. So there you go. All right. So then we go to night number 2, which was
How
November
was the
20.
attendance for this? I'm just curious.
Night 2 doesn't have the attendance on it.
At the Knoxville.
1,100.
Oh man, that's not good.
The first night was 1,100, and actually Cornette. And there's the article that I have, and I don't have it pulled up right now.
Is that the night that OJ?
No,
I'm kidding.
That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia.
That's what it is.
I forget the count. So if you're keeping track, Knoxville was 1,100 people the first night. So that's not terrible, not great, but not terrible. The second night, I don't have the attendance immediately in front of me, but I can tell you it wasn't that great from the article I read that Cornette wrote about it. And then I don't even have the results from this. All I have is who battled who, and it was the same card, essentially. Thrasher and Flannigan, Wolfman and Sergeant Rock, Cornette, Butch Cassidy, Tommy Rich, Punisher versus the Bullet and Buddy Landell. The Bullet filled in for Joe LeDuc, obviously, because Joe LeDuc wasn't there.
That sucks.
Cornette at first was mad. I read the article, but it was like a health issue that Joe LeDuc had, so that's why he didn't make it. And of course, so then we'll go to Johnson City on November 25th, and that only drew Johnson City, Tennessee, Freedom Hall. We've been to Freedom Hall numerous times over the years. 550 people in that big building.
Jesus Christ.
And I think that's the night that Cornette figured out, okay, we're dead.
Yeah.
That was I believe when I read the article, that's when the nail was in the coffin. So there's that. So from there we get the same card. Flash Flannigan pinned Headbanger Thrasher. Sergeant Rock pinned the Wolfman. Tommy Rich pinned Brad Armstrong to win the Smoky Mountain Wrestling title.
What?
Ugh.
He's a world champion in multiple promotions.
How you feel about that, Mike?
Butch Cassidy beat Jim Cornette via DQ. Buddy Landell and the Bullet beat Tommy Rich and the Punisher when Landell pinned Rich. The Heavenly Bodies and Robert Gibson double DQ over with Ricky Morton, Tracy Smothers, and Dirty White Boy. All right.
Dirty White Boy.
Which leads us to the last night of the promotion's history. November 26, 1995 in Cookeville, Tennessee at the Community Center. And I don't have the attendance, although I know it is in Jim Cornette's article that I have somewhere on my computer. The Wolfman against Sergeant Rock. I don't have the results from that. Jim Cornette against Butch Cassidy. Tommy Rich and the Punisher took on the Bullet and Buddy Landell. The Heavenly Bodies and Robert Gibson again versus the Thugs and Ricky Morton. And then at the very end of the show, if you've been a Smoky Mountain Wrestling fan for all these years, you know that the whole crew comes out and attacks Jim Cornette, who is pinned by referee Mark Curtis. Since they knew that the lights were being turned out, everybody goes over on Jim Cornette at the end of the promotion. So they actually did do something different because they knew the promotion was over than I guess most promotions that just die. And then that's how Smoky Mountain died. It's kind of sad. Doc, anything you want to add?
Well, no, everything comes to an end. Father Time, dude. No jobs.
No jobs.
I'm gonna miss this. I'm glad we're done. I'm gonna miss it. This is a hell of a promotion. We're gonna come back and talk about some of the moments that we loved in future episodes at some point, and there's a lot to talk about. So, people are going, well, you're going to be doing less shows. Think about it like this. You've been getting an extra show for 4 years, so you're really not losing anything.
And like I said, on our Patreon feed, you can get 200 plus episodes of ridiculousness there at tinyurl.com.
And I'm going to start sleeping in on Fridays, pal.
How you feel about that?
Phenomenal.
Bruh. I'm going to start sleeping in on these off Fridays again. That's going to be a thing of beauty. Except during the school year. I mean, you really can't. But summertime, that off Friday is going to be gold.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess there's not much left to do here. I mean, I don't know. I guess we're done.
Yeah, I think we'll have a lot to talk about in the wrap-ups. But for now, I don't know, Hopper, you joined us in episode 20-something, 21 or 22. You may have missed the couple when the shoot job came calling a couple months back, but I don't know. You got any closing thoughts on this thing, man?
I mean, at least they went out until they got every drop of gas they could out of this fucking shit. So.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true.
Fuck. I mean, just think back, man. Kevin Sullivan.
No, we're going to do that in the recap. No.
Okay.
Yeah, because we could go on, and I don't want to do that right now. We'll do that in a recap. Hulk Hogan. We'll talk about things like, biggest stars to come in, and it's over.
Yep. So if it's over, there's only one thing left to do.
Turn the lights out. The party's over. Is that a song?
Yeah.
Is it?
Don Meredith used to sing it on Monday Night Football.
That's right. That's where I know that from.
Well, if that's over and wrestling's over, we got to go homeschool our children. So
yeah, I agree. Well, Hopper, do what you've always done since you've joined this show and hit the tagline for us one last time on the Smoky Mountain Show.
Book it, bitch.